As a competitor, I am always looking for an edge when it comes to my next time at the range. So I'm going to check out the new Hornady Aero Match bullets to see what they're all about. Let's go have some fun. I'm F-Class John for Ultimate Reloader, and here they are, the new Hornady Aero Match bullets. Now, we just heard about these a few months ago at SHOT Show, yet they are already on the shelves in many of the popular calibers used by competitors everywhere. 22, 243, 264, and 308. And I have to say, I think these are going to prove popular. Now, one of the reasons that Hornady is really excited about announcing these is because they looked at the market and they said, what is it that is really causing pain points for competitors out there? And here's the number one thing they heard: availability. I can't find bullets. So Hornady took a different approach. They said, not only are we going to design an aerodynamically superior bullet, but we are going to make them and we are going to have them out there in mass in counts of 500 and 3,000. And you might be saying, why does 500 or 3,000 matter? Well, when you're a competitor, you want one lot of bullet so that you're not messing around with any kind of changes, load development problems. You want enough bullets so that you can get through a season, so that you can get through a barrel. I mean, there's a lot of different reasons we look for large amounts of same lot bullets. And it is really cool that Hornady thought about that in coming up with these 3,000 count case packs. Another key feature of the Aero Match bullet is that Hornady has designed them so they will seamlessly go into your existing loads. So if you're shooting another popular bullet and you have a known data point for that, you can put in the Aero Match and you should be pretty much right there without any major need to develop a load, waste components, or spend any additional time at the range. The bullets we're going to be shooting today are the 6mm or 243, and they are going to be the 105 grain variant. Now, they come in with a G1 ballistic coefficient of 0.536, and what's interesting about this number is that it is dead on with other popular bullets out there, further backing up Hornady's point that you can simply drop these into an existing load and run with it. And when it comes to barrel twist, it is going to be about the same as any other 105 grain bullet range, which is going to be about a 1 in 7 twist up to a 1 in 8 twist. I know I have friends that really like a lower twist or a higher twist, but anything between 7 and 8 is going to keep you right on target and perfectly in tune. Before we head up and do some shooting, let's take a look at 20 bullets and see how they measure out. Now, first thing we're going to look at is the overall length. You can see here that the average was 0.2712 with an SD of, just under 3 thousandths and an ES of about 9.5 thousandths. That's a really good number for me on hollow point bullets, and I think that gives a lot of certainty that these are consistent in their length. Next, we're going to look at the weight, and they average 105.15 grains with an SD of 0.15 grains. And to me, that is a really good number with a spread of just under half a grain. I can tell you after thousands of rounds of competition that a half grain variance in a bullet is something you will really never notice on target. So that tells me these are really consistent bullets. And ultimately, we're going to look at the diameter here across the bearing surface, and we had 0.24313 with a crazy low SD of under 1/10. I mean, when you have that many zeros in front of a number, you know you have a consistent number. And then we have a spread of 0.3. Again, these numbers tell me that these bullets are made to incredibly tight standards. So how are we going to test these? Well, we're going to prep some brass. We're going to be using Varget, and we're going to do a quick half grain powder test to see what happens. And here we are, the results of our half grain powder testing. Now you can see it opened up a little bit in the beginning, but boy, as we started getting up in powder charge, it really tightened up. And check out this last group. This is in the tens. In fact, I think it's like 0.13. So now that we know where we think it likes to shoot, we're gonna put together a bunch more ammo, we're gonna go shoot some strings, and we're gonna see what the data tells us. So how did all of our strings shake out? You can see here we have 6 different strings that averaged 3103 on the speed and an SD of 15. Now, was every group perfect? Of course not, but that's what testing's all about. And same thing with our ES, but with a combined SD of 15 and an ES of 16, I feel like we had a really great tune on the gun and the bullet, and our groups reflected that as well, with an overall group of 0.61 on all 5 strings. So just over ½ inch on 6 different strings with virtually no load development tells me these bullets like to fly. And if I had a couple more days, I have no doubt I'd be able to put together some amazing loads with these. And Hornady is delivering on their promise as well, having bullets out there on the shelves and on the websites in the promised packs of 500 and 3,000. And at the end of the day, I think that is one of the biggest wins, because as a competitor, you do not want to have to worry about managing your bullet counts before a big match or before you need to do some load development. So if you can pick up these giant counts that they're now selling, it's going to give you an edge and also take some of that mental burden off next time you are attending a match. With that, I do hope you get to head into the reloading room and have some fun. Go out to the range, hang out with some friends, and we will talk soon.
I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're watching Ultimate Reloader on TV and want to take advantage of free resources, exclusives, and hot deals, just hold your camera phone up to the QR code, tap on the link, fill out the information, boom, you're getting Ultimate Reloader emails. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, we're on Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, where we've got unrestricted content, and Instagram. Make sure to follow us on all those channels. Ultimate Reloader also has a commercial solutions division serving law enforcement, the military, and the gun industry. We have some unique capabilities, including a comprehensive suite of recoil testing and evaluation capabilities, trigger profiling, and more. Thanks again for watching.